and welcome back, our dear viewers. Of course, in this segment, we'll be talking about the impact of the COVID-19, the coronavirus, on the world economy. Having largely ignored the COVID-19 as it spread across China, the global financial market reacted strongly last week when the virus spread to Europe and the Middle East, stoking fears of a global pandemic, which was actually announced by the World Health Organization recently. Since then, COVID-19 risks have been priced so aggressively across various assets classes that some fear a recession in the global economy may be a conclusion of that. To shed more light on the repercussions of COVID-19 on the world economy, we have with us over the phone Dr. Zeinab Nawar, our economic expert. Good morning, Dr. Zeinab.
Good morning. Good morning, my dear.
Good morning, doctor.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine. It's fine.
Of course, is the only question that is looming around the business experts is the impact, the gravity of the impact of the coronavirus or COVID-19 over the business markets and the stock market and the currency exchanges and the industries. What is going to be expected in the coming months? Of course, there is already signals of a recession.
Yes, we are in front of a case of epidemic disease. We talk about 110,000 people have been infected around the world, and more than 25 countries also have been affected. If we talk about China, we talk about the second largest economy. The third numbers on talk about the amount of exportation. It's the second largest economy with the third volume of the world trade. So you can imagine to what extent that if we talk about this country is being affected, and only China, it's China and Korea and all the neighbor South Asian countries. And also the infection have been also in Italy, in France, and in a lot of countries that are trading with China. So, of course, we have a slowdown in the world economy. There are expectations that the growth of the world economy will be less than 2%. And for China, it will be less than 4%. What is happening actually that the spread of the coronavirus had created, of course, an environment of skepticism about the economic activities and trade. And this created a case of fear. What is happening that people are not demanding much of products, cutting down of all the activities in China and a lot of countries. At the same time, also producers are not producing because they have such fear of their money and their investments. And the slowing down of the economy, it has created a degree of depression worldwide. So there is no production, there is no demand, and also the decrease in the prices of oil, because the largest importer of crude oil, which is China, is now affected. Unfortunately, we are facing, in terms of we talk about worldwide economy, a degree of recession, maybe a depression in some of the Asian countries and also in some of the European countries. It affects all of economic sectors, trade, aviation, ports, and all of the effects. We would hope that this would be released soon.
Yes, Dr. Zeinab, yesterday also we had a great fall in the indices of the world stock markets. How do you see the performance of the world stock markets in the coming few days? Fear over the increase of numbers, the people infected with the coronavirus increasing in many countries around the globe here.
This crash that is happening in the stock market, this is very normal because people who used to trade in the stock market and to do some sort of savings and investments, they are now have such a fear for their money because there is a degree of being skepticism, and there is a degree that there is no way that to confirm anything. You know, even the OECD and the IMF and a lot of international institutions, they truly said we cannot put any real estimates about markets because we don't know what's going to happen. So once you will have the IMF, one of the IMF managers or leaders saying that we don't know what really is going on in the world economy, so actually this would give a very negative sign to the investors in the stock market that we don't know what's going to happen. So people behave in such situations that they will keep their money and they will not do further investments. So since they will not do further investments, so there is a crash in the stock market because no trading, no deals. So all of this will affect the international stock market. So there's no good expectations about what's going to happen worldwide in the stock market because we don't know, but definitely the signs are not good.
Right. Given the fact that there are talks about a recession, there are talks about a relapse, economic crisis, the diminish of economic world powers like the US and China and other world powers, but there are also some schools known as the safe economic havens, which are parallel to the usual booming economies. Talk to us about the safe economic havens, like the gold trade, like real estate, real estate development, and all these schools. Could they be an alternative to the usual scenario of the usual economy?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question quite clear. Would you please repeat the question? The question, I didn't hear it.
Come again, please.
Yes. Could you repeat the question?
Yes, we want you to talk to us about the safe economic haven, which is the gold trade that could be an alternative to the usual types of economy and industries.
Yes, actually, when we talk about the effect that is happening in trade, it's China which is affecting what is happening in trade. Many giant and multinational companies unfortunately is doing some sort of update to the products depending on exports from China. They will not do this. Several international reports, they had reported international companies and manufacturers around the world, they just suspended their production for some products like cars, like mobiles. Looking for alternatives, actually, what the international supply chain are doing right now, that they are looking for alternatives. One of the, actually, I have a friend who is working in a multinational company here in Egypt. They are looking for other alternatives to get it from India. But what they do actually face is the increase in prices of the raw material. They're going to get it from India if we compare it from what to get it from China. So what actually the world is trying to do is look, and the international supply chains, they look for different alternatives. I see it would be a challenge for us in Egypt or for the African countries is to see what we can do, and if we can create an alternative sources of production, this would be a perfect move for us.
Yes,
For
Dr.
the time
Zin?
being,
Yes.
the supply chain and the international supply chain, they are trying to look for alternatives, but these are not successful steps right now.
Dr. Zeinab, finally, from your point of view, what is the likely recovery path from this crisis that the world is facing?
The first step and recovery of this is to find a treatment for this epidemic disease, because we cannot talk about economic activities and recovering, and we have the human health are at risk. So, of course, that is the effort if we talk about the research and development and the research centers and the World Health Organizations and all of these, they have collaborated to find the treatment for this epidemic disease and to work on the precautions to stop the infection. This is number one. Number two, definitely I see that this would be a chance for other countries to work, like India, for example, or some of the countries here, and we look for Egypt also, to manufacture what China had used to work on, because it's very hard that, if we talk about that, the most of the economy are depending in terms of exports and imports on one country, which is China. So when there is a collapse in this country, the whole economy will be collapsed.
Yes.
So it's not right. So I think that economists and also the governments in a lot of countries will think that looking for alternatives, because you cannot stop the movement of the economy, cannot stop flourishing the market because of one country actually is suffering.
Indeed.
So I that government and smart government will try to look for alternatives, and also we have to, for us, for Egypt, is to focus more on our local investors, to help and give them. Of course, we do it. We help and support them, but we need also to help and support them more, because we invest in our manufacturers.
Indeed, Dr. Zeinab Nawara, our economic expert, thank you very much for being with us and for your precious input.